Yuri route?
Hello everybody, I'm Yuri and today we're playing Doki Doki Literature Club.
Hey, I don't remember. I don't remember any of my voices. I'm gonna have to
I guess
go with them when I see them. It might take me a second. Professional voice actors.
That's what we are, deep down, at our core.
Okay, well, this one.
Yay!
That's how the ideal scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're doing Yuri.
We're doing the Yuri.
The Yuri. Massacre. Ambient. No, that's her.
Bro, when
It's hard. Does some of them have like the same? Or do you think?
Yeah.
Dark? No. 2 for 2.
Passion.
Explode. Okay.
Okay. This section makes me feel like I haven't been understanding the game whatsoever.
Agonizing. Horror.
I think Scars.
Scars could be either.
Sayori.
Yeah. Infinite. Intellectual. Vivid? Maybe? Vivid? Yeah. Can't. No, that's Disarray could be Wrath. Nope. Incongruent. Existence.
Congruent. That's a shame.
Disaster. We got Uncanny. We're good. Yeah, we're good. Frightening. We're going with that Yuri lines.
Yeah. None of these.
Yeah. After.
Okay.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
voice.
Hi again, Chase and Torr. Is that it?
Yeah, I think you gotta be louder though. The mic might not
Yeah.
pick it up.
Hi again, Chase and Torr. There's like higher kind of. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least. Oh, we can. Should we skip through all the text we read then?
Yeah. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she'd lent to me. More than that, she seemed to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book.
Sorry. I was just spacing out.
I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable.
Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so...
That's the book you gave me, right?
I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason.
Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book?
Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean... I just happened to buy 2 of them.
I see.
There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go.
I'll definitely start reading it soon.
I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story.
Is that so? What's it about anyways?
Well,
Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover.
Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment in prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart.
That's kind of...
That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere.
Aha.
Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden.
Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Jason Torr?
No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different.
It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange, new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So, I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all.
Ah. Well, that's true.
In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right?
You don't have to.
What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book.
I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag.
Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right?
I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
Ah. Yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Alright.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her present over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry. I was just...
Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Here, this should work, right?
I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two.
Ah, I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open.
I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here.
Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready
Eh?
to turn the page?
Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second.
I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
Ah, that's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah. Thanks.
We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own violin. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side, as she catches it under her own thumb.
Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but The main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
You think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all the things she says and does. Like, she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I see. Yuri
remains silent for a moment.
But chasing Torr, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. It's so embarrassing that you think that.
Well, wait. I didn't mean in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you're self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute.
What are you saying all of a sudden?
Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long.
Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought.
Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this.
It's not. It's fine.
Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb.
Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you?
I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way.
In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know?
That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time.
Alright.
I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag.
By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah.
My relaxation ends. Skip.
Yuri is the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair.
As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten.
Exceptional.
What was that?
Did I say that out loud?
Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face.
He's gonna hate me.
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
Yeah. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for?
Yuri takes a breath.
So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really.
Huh?
Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again.
Well, I know that. I just meant,
Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She chases her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly.
Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell.
It's just that I skip.
Yeah? It's nothing, really. Yours is impressive, too, so...
Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Jason Torr.
Me too.
This is a good poem, Jason Torr. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course.
Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who'd be writing poems in his spare time?
I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one.
Skip!
Huh? Okay. I gotta take a moment to think. Jason Torr! Jason Torr! Was it like that?
Yeah.
Jason Torr, if you're not gonna take this club seriously, then go home. Okay, I got it. Well, what? Harsh. What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put an effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyways. I'll tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, each their own, I guess. Anyways, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Bink. This is why it's faster. For all three. Great job, Jason Torr. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it counts when I put in some effort. Haha, that's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know, now Yuri kinda likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when the readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find this kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kind. Oh. Now they argue. But this time we help Yuri. Natsuki. You're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri.
Yeah?
You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed.
Well, that's...
But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it and becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute.
I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. Ugh.
But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too?
Natsuki clenches her fist and swings. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped, at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up feeling bad for her.
Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head.
Sayori, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm gonna go do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now.
Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash.
Natsuki!
She really didn't need to do that.
I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair.
Sigh.
Everything alright?
I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now.
No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you.
Well. Alright, I believe you. Thanks, Jason Torr. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now.
It's nothing.
One more thing. That one thing that Suki said. About, you know.
What was the thing? I forgot.
I don't know.
I would never do something anything so shameful. So.
Huh? What thing did Natsuki say?
Well, never mind that. I'm going to go make some tea.
Yeah, good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay?
Yeah.
How'd they know? Okay. Eternity?
I do think your Monica voice still needs to be louder. It's
Yeah,
a bit quieter than I think you think.
yeah, probably. No. Oh, no.
What? Come on.
I'm losing it. Massacre. Melancholy. Ambient. Was there vertigo? Yeah. Intellectual. Infallible. Oh. Darn. Frightening. Afterimage. There we go. That's a good one.
Whoa! They speak fast. This looks like a cutscene.
Hey, Yuri.
Eh?
Uh,
I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no. I was kind of just waiting for you.
If that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started?
Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first?
Not at all.
Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well.
Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside.
Can you hold this for a second?
Sure.
Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle.
I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk, and then we'll go get some water.
She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and methodical.
Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back.
I might as well walk with you.
Yeah, why not? Shall we go then?
Yeah. Huh? Where are you two off to? We're just... Yuri was going to make some tea, so...
I suddenly realize how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica.
We're just filling the water pitcher. Okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? That's...
Monica, please mind your own business for once. Or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping involve chasing Torr in club activities? My mouth gapes.
I suppose there's nothing wrong with that.
Then let's go, Jason Torr.
Yuri quickly exits the room, and I follow. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall.
I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that?
Yuri,
Something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me?
no, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that.
Jason Torr. How come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me?
Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions, and you can't always hide them away. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane.
No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that?
Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that?
Friend, you say?
Yuri lifts her head.
Jason Torr, I really like being friends with you.
Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you, too.
I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better.
Anyway,
Yeah? Shall we go?
yeah.
Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom.
Jason Torr, do you like oolong tea?
Yeah. Anything is fine.
Very well.
Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees.
Now it's time to get the teapot.
You really do this properly, don't you?
Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others.
Even if you're not an expert on tea or anything?
Uh-huh. In that case, you'll only be even more impressed.
Perhaps I will.
Yuri fetches a teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself.
You must be in a good mood now.
Is that so? I was letting it show. And you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking. And I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around, anyway.
Ah, that's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much.
You're always worrying about me, Jason Torr. It's very endearing.
That's...
Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watched Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us.
Jason Torr, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today?
Why's that?
It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending at my desk.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it.
Is that so? I wonder why that is.
It's most likely because of my
Your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading?
yes. I have terrible reading posture. So that's why we should sit on the floor.
Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book.
I retrieved my book from my bag.
I have some chocolate as well.
It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it since it'll go well with a tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other.
I can't see too well.
What? Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle.
Your teacup.
Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hands, not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper.
Sorry.
I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper.
You can have as much as you want.
It's okay. I won't take any.
Are you sure?
Well,
Oh, I touch it as much as I please.
You're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad.
no need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay?
Are you sure?
Of course.
Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg.
Well, in that case...
Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate, and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if the situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. It's a weird looking chocolate. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it.
Yeah.
Yuri's expression suddenly breaks.
Did I just...
Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened.
Jason Torr.
Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that.
Well, you were just helping. That's something that friends do, right?
I mean...
Not really in this kind of context, but...
Yeah. Yeah, that's all it was.
Yeah. Then, you don't need to stop or anything.
I see.
Situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can tell just by her expression that even she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers, but this time Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm. Why? To the rhythm of her breaths. I raise my arm. Ah! Like before, Yuri parts her lips, but it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her hot breath on my fingers.
Okay, everyone. Ah!
Ah! Yuri jolts back.
It's time to share poems. Jason Torr, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks.
The spell is abruptly broken.
I'll take care of the cups.
Yeah.
Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up.
Let's see what you've written for today.
Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face.
Do you like it?
Jason Torr, this one might be even better than yesterday's. How did you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing.
Maybe that's why you did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery.
Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this.
Used to what?
I don't know.
It's fine, take your time.
Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her.
Yeah. Just being appreciated like this, I guess. This probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone more motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy.
Are you saying you've never shared your writing before?
Yuri nods.
Really? I don't believe it.
I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me.
Do you really think that?
Again, Yuri nods.
Huh?
Well,
Even your close friends?
Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why.
Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today?
Yeah. I do. If it's with you. Why do you keep them to yourself?
Why do you keep them to yourself?
What?
Because they're embarrassing. And people would make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Jason Torr?
Well, yeah, I guess I do.
I feel like everyone has a little something like that. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities. Even if it's difficult sometimes and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to Skip. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't too many people like you, Jason Torr.
That's exaggerating it a little bit.
It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing, but now I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that.
It's nothing, really.
Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear.
Well, I can admit it's better than the last one. It's nice to see you're putting in some effort. That's good. But I still don't like this at all. It's trying too hard to be serious. What do you mean by that? Poems don't need to be all deep sounding to express something. It's good to just sound like you're forcing it, it's going to sound like you're forcing it unless you really don't suck at it. Honestly, don't bother trying to write poems like this until you're on Yuri's level.
Natsuki stops short all of a sudden.
Don't tell me, You're not just trying to impress Yuri, are you? Well, what are you talking about? And keep your voice down. You know, Yuri would love this angsty. Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean I mean.
Looks like I'm in trouble. I somehow struck a nerve, though what I did is beyond me.
I'm so done with you.
Natsuki shoves the poem I handed her back to me.
Take your
Take your
stupid poem. If you wrote it for someone else, just don't show it to me. Ouch.
This is what I get for letting a younger girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to press in the first place.
Hi again, Chase and Torr. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess.
You can skip.
This one's good. I feel like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than the last one I read. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. You can't deny that she's talented. Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I noticed that too. Or when she's talking about literature, it's like a light turns on inside her. Sadly, it's hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes on in that head of hers? I hope you don't mean that in a bad way. No, of course not. I just meant that I wish she didn't keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that? You must be pretty into her. You completely misunderstood. Calm down, I'm kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. Wait, really? Yeah, a fictional one anyway.
Monica kind of whispers that last part to me.
It's just a hunch, but... Well, there's not really anything wrong with that. Oh, well, I know. I'm just saying...
Oh! I like this one, Jason Torr. It has some nice feelings in it.
I'm glad. Does it mean it's better than yesterday's?
Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both.
That's not very helpful, you know.
Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad. But that's why I just go by my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem.
I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. Then again, I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing.
Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place.
Yeah, me neither.
Why don't you at least try giving it some thought?
You want to write something for me? That's so sweet.
Yeah, right. But you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself once in a while. If you don't, you might end up getting hurt at some point.
Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I'll try to keep it in mind.
Well, whatever.
Anyway, let's see. I guess I like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet. Yeah, I like things that are happy and things that are sad.
Happy and sad? I can't see you liking something sad, Sayori.
Well, I like happy the most. But sometimes when you have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can help give the rain cloud a little hope. And make a nice happy rainbow.
Sayori, that's unexpectedly poetic.
It is. Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after all. Thanks, Jason Torr. I should go write that down then. You can read my poem now, okay?
Buttholes.
We're going.
I would walk home with Yuri, obviously.
Yeah. Walking in with Yuri, huh?
Why does the thought of that make my heart pound?
I mean, given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel awkward turning her down, so...
Isn't she so beautiful and smart?
That has nothing to do with what I just said.
You admitted it.
Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never going to happen.
Well, maybe. But I just like to think about it. It's not long before you won't need me anymore, you know?
Need you? Sayori, I can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now.
Sorry.
Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you.
If you say so.
The conversation trails off, and I'm left feeling awkward. But it was kind of her fault for trapping me in such a weird question. I can't just lie to her. But if there's something that makes her happy, I would hate to take that away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Skip. Oh yeah.
Poem time.
Yuri's the game.
Disaster.
Disaster.
Inferno. Unending. Sensation.
Bed.
That's Sayori.
Bruh.
Sensation.
Agonizing.
Agonizing.
Hopeless?
Hopeless. That's probably Sayori's too. Misfortune. No, that's Sayori's. Vitality. Intellectual.
Massacre.
Massacre.
Empty? That might be
Empty.
Sayori.
Yeah. Incongruent.
What is that?
I think probably just all the big words are her.
I guess. Unrequited. No.
Okay. Oh, never mind. Disarray. Tragedy. No. Some of these could be both. It's so hard.
It's weird because I expect all of Sayori's things to be all bopping and happy and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I wonder what's going to happen later on.
Marriage.
Entropy. Well, that worked. Existence. Anxiety.
Suicide.
Was that? Which one was that? I'm
I'm pretty sure it was Yuri. Last time we did it, you were like foreshadowing.
Vivid. We definitely got this poem down.
Yeah.
Variance.
Is that a Loki reference in
After
Doki Doki
image.
Literature Club?
Melancholy. That was a good Yuri poem.
What is
We love
Doki
that
Doki
one.
Panic? Is it Mario 2?
Yeah. Well, it's not Mario 2, but
It's Mario 2.
it was the original Mario 2 before Mario.
It's Mario 2.
We're zooming again.
Why does it feel like I'm being watched? I glance around the room. Suddenly I notice Yuri peering at me from over her book. But she looks away just as quickly with a flustered look on her face. I realize that she won't get anywhere like this. I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord, so I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now, it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit in one next to her own.
I didn't mean to bother you or anything,
Relax. You didn't even do anything.
but I could tell that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts.
Alone with my thoughts. How are you able to tell I was thinking like that?
Mind reader, well, it's something that I do a lot, so it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. Not that I was staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that.
In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if it caused you any concern.
Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those who willingly share in that concern. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you would prefer to share what's on your mind, then I would be glad to listen.
It's really not that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori.
Sayori.
Yeah, she seems a little off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her.
Oh, that's quite romantic.
Yeah?
Sorry. I didn't mean to say something stupid.
It's not that, I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have just been friends for a long time, that's all.
Ah, I see. Then perhaps it is unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings.
Or maybe I'm just reading into it a little too much.
Jason Torr. The world is full of meaning, often hidden deep beneath plain sight. And there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them.
Huh. So you think that there might be something behind it after all?
I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside her head. And she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today too. I also feel some concern for her. But in your case, it looks like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she?
Well, I guess that was the case.
Sayori. She really means a lot to you, doesn't she?
I guess. But you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all.
Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze.
Sometimes A person's mysteries are untold, even to themselves. And you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. That is, I think that she would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her.
Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you.
Aha. That's not a compliment, is it?
It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading?
Well, as long as you're okay with it.
Yeah. I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway.
Skip time.
Ah! A banger poem I'm about to show her.
What?
A banger poem.
Jason Torr. Your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you've shown me has been nothing short of spectacular.
Ooh.
I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little envious, even. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally.
Yuri, that's the wrong way to put it. This never did come naturally to me, but I'm able to improve so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing after.
Is that so?
Yuri gently smiles to herself.
This feeling. I'm so glad I got a chance to share my writing. I never thought it would feel like this. I remember you mentioning that yesterday.
Oh, come on!
I remember you mentioning that yesterday. I can't believe that you're so good at something and you never even shared it with anyone. It's kind of a shame.
Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice.
What do you mean?
Well,
Yuri smiles sadly.
Jason Torr, during lunchtime, I eat by myself.
Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot and do some reading. I got British.
In fact, I always have some books with me. You could say I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it, anyway. But books are so full of amazing and inspiring people. People you want to fall in love with. Or people you just know would make really good friends. Cheerful people who always put a smile on your face. Or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So it's easier.
Australian.
So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day. You know? And those friends don't laugh at me. They don't even tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type. And they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all.
People say that about you?
I'm not a know-it-all, Jason Torr. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you that I really understood what was missing all this time. But I haven't really
done anything.
No! That's wrong! Just being patient and respectful. That's really important to me. I know I'm a difficult person, Jason Torr. I speak too slowly. I second guess myself all the time. I read too deeply into things. But every time, my voice changes. You've always treated me just like anyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I'm talking to others. But that's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy.
I see. Well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri. And if other people don't see it that way, then screw them! I mean, I joined this club hoping I would make friends. And I would say I've had at least one success. Wouldn't you?
If you put it that way, yeah. We really are friends now, aren't we?
Yuri puts her head in her hands. But this time, she's smiling as she does it.
Do you want to show me your poem?
Yeah. I do. Let me get it for you.
She's just gonna be Australian now. It's so much easier. My voice doesn't hurt.
This is different.
Is it? Ghost in the Light Part 2. Is it different? This is Part 2.
This is different. Yeah, this is a different poem. I'm pretty sure.
It does look like one. The tendrils of my hair
Sorry.
illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. In the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A lone figure crosses its path, the silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart pounds. The silhouette grows closer, closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility, but I am too late. He steps into the streetlight. I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers. My heart pounds. He raises his arm. Time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you ever heard of a ghost feeling warm before? Giving up on understanding? I laugh. Understanding is overrated. I touch this hand. The flickering stops. Ghosts are blue, green. My heart is amber. I don't know what that meant. Finishing the poem, I start to hand it back to Yuri. But instead of taking it from me, she looks away.
Yeah. Do you dislike it?
No, of course not. I just don't really know how I should respond.
Despite Yuri's poems usually being cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this one is about.
I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one.
That's fine. I understand this one.
Yeah.
Yuri is having an even harder time speaking than usual.
Does this one mean a lot to you?
Yuri nods.
I'm not really good with words, but I'm happy that you shared it with me, so thank you. I hope we keep spending time together.
Despite my inability to make eye contact, I see a faint smile emerge on Yuri's lips. I once again try to hand the poem back to her. But instead, Yuri gently takes my hands and pushes them back towards me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch.
You can't... Oh.
You can. The poem is...
Once again, Yuri fails to form a complete sentence.
You mean I can keep it?
Yuri nods.
I'd love to.
Again, Yuri faintly smiles, as if she doesn't want me to notice.
You always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometimes.
Yeah. Don't worry. I think you do a good job.
Yuri finally turns back toward me. I guess we should move on before Monica says something. But I'm sure we can talk again later.
Yeah. I'm sure we will.
With that, Yuri timidly smiles at me, and I return to my seat so I can put her poem away.
Yeah, no thanks. You didn't even... Next! Oh, shoot. Hi, Chase and Torr. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Oh. Your style's gone so refined, Chase and Torr. Yuri's been teaching you a lot of things, hasn't she? Well, I guess so. Yeah, I've been noticing how much time you spend with her. I think I've heard her say more words these past couple days than she's talked in the whole year. Not sure how you did it, but that's pretty impressive. Well, she just needs some patience and a way to talk about all the things in her head, I guess. I'm still getting the hang of it myself. Huh. You're certainly putting in a lot of effort. You must really like her. That's... Haha. It's awfully suspicious, you know. Spending time with her in the clubroom every day. Reading that edgy novel with her. Well, I just feel bad she's having a hard time socializing. It makes me want to make sure she doesn't spend all her time alone. Besides, the novel isn't too bad either, you know. Alright. I get you. Just be careful, alright? I know that Yuri isn't used to opening herself up. So if something bad happens while she's vulnerable, that could be really hard for her. Her books aren't a total escape from reality. They're just a bandage. You say that like I'm going to hurt her. Sorry, I didn't mean that. If anything, she might accidentally hurt herself.
It's nice, I guess.
Come on, I can already tell you don't like it.
Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Yuri.
I didn't write this for anyone specifically.
Maybe. That's not really what I meant, though. But it's okay. You're making new friends, just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. And you're happy too, right? In this club?
Well, of course I am.
Good! That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Jason Torr.
Sayori, is there something wrong?
Ah! No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today.
Alright, just tell me if you need anything.
I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now.
If you insist.
Yay! I'm gonna go home a little bit early today.
Sayori?
Tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow.
Before I can say anything else, Yuri cheerfully walked out the classroom, humming to herself. Do they not have fingernails?
Did Monica or Sayori show us a poem? Neither of them did.
No.
Yeah. Okay, you three. Oh.
Well, I mean, Natsuki didn't either.
Well,
She
yeah.
was-
But Monica had, like, the whole thing she showed.
I didn't realize Monica had poems.
Yeah,
Oh.
she had poems. I'll go with Yuri. Well, it'll probably be the most useful helping out Yuri.
Me? Skip.
I can't. I gotta stop. Can we read this?
My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of school. More than that, she told me that she was looking forward to it. Is this a chance I have to make something happen between us? Or is it too early for that? Only time will tell. And until then, I won't be able to take my mind off it. I seriously can't wait. It's already Sunday. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. Yuri is clearly an introvert and also an intimate person in general. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we've been texting occasionally. She was extremely apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. But putting Yuri aside, I haven't heard a thing from Sayori since she left club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayori said and what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put Sayori's feelings aside when she might need me? I decide to visit Sayori before Yuri comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Why does it say skip?
Because we.
Oh, is this
There's
stuff
the
we
part.
skip past?
Yeah, there's a part we skipped, but
Right.
didn't read.
Once I reach Sayori's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we've made it a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we were family. The house is quiet. Sayori isn't anywhere on the first floor, so I assume she's up in her room. It's already strange of her not to run down and greet me. I head up to her bedroom where I finally find her. Sayori?
Sayori?
Hi, Torr.
I sit down in her room. Sayori forces a smile, but it's easy to tell that she's different. There's a minute of silence between us.
You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you?
I guess you're right. It has been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it?
Sayori's room is as messy as it always has been. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and wall decorations that she's had for years now.
If you came over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess.
That's because I end up cleaning it for you.
How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to be seeing Yuri today?
Yeah, but... Wait, how'd you know that?
Sayori had left by the time we decided the last meeting.
Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right?
That's true. What about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today?
Of course. But I'm just helping her online. You didn't plan to meet up or anything.
So it's just me and Yuri then.
Yep.
There's more silence between us. Sayori stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point.
I just wanted to see how you were doing. After you left on Friday, when something's wrong, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well. So...
Sayori smiles, shaking her head.
That's no good, Torr.
Huh?
Why can't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have even been thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me. Yeah.
Sayori,
I grab Sayori by the shoulders.
what on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this. So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it.
Sayori gives me an empty smile.
You really put me in a trap, Jason Torr. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. Just seeing it for the first time.
Seeing what? What are you talking about, Sayori?
You're really just gonna make me say it, aren't you, Jason Torr? I guess I have no choice this time. The thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy and caring to waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy, without anyone worrying about me.
I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayori kept this from me the entire time that I've known her? Does she really want so badly for me to just not think about her?
Why, Sayori?
Eh?
Why is it that you never told me about this? It almost feels like I've been betrayed as your close friend. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even if there's only so much I could do. I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me.
You don't understand at all, Jason Torr. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes. But it also feels like a bat being swung against my head. That's why I want so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then I discovered something else too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone in the club. It feels like a spear going through my heart. So that's why I decided the world just wants to torture me. Every path leads to nothing but hurt.
You're right that I don't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayori. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting, that's what I'll do.
No, Jason Torr. There's nothing wrong. Nothing at all. The only thing that I couldn't have helped is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am.
Tears streaked down Sayori's face.
I made you join the literature club because I was selfish. And I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And now you came here and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am. That's why I'm going to accept these punishments. Because I deserve every last one.
Without thinking, I once again grab Sayori's shoulders. This time I pull her into a tight embrace.
Jason Torr.
Sayori, I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. And if I make friends with everyone else, then that's just a bonus. But please never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Jason Torr.
Sayori isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Sayori's arms remain at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear.
No! Don't do this to me! Please don't do this. Jason Torr.
Sayori barely manages to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. What I want is for her to know that I care.
If you have it in to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. And if there's anything that you need me to do, then you'd better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Gently, Sayori finally puts her arms around me in return.
I don't know anything. It's all really scary. I don't understand any of my feelings, Jason Torr. The only time I'm not feeling nothing,
I'm not.
is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm, and that's really scary too.
Sayori lets me go. As she does, I let her go as well.
The festival's tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, right?
Mm.
How would you like for me to spend it all with you?
Uh,
It's what I want. I promise.
I think that would be nice then.
Yeah.
Yuri wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day here, I would.
Of all days, this has to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel.
No, don't. Please don't. If you did that, then I really wouldn't forgive you.
But it's almost time for Yuri to meet me at my house. At the very least, do you want to come along and help out? It would be fun.
To my surprise, Yuri shakes her head.
I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be very good for me today. You understand, right?
It's kind of hard for me to fully understand, but I'm trying my hardest.
It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Alright. I look forward to it.
I say goodbye to Sayori and exit her house. On the way home, I find myself still feeling uneasy. But it's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Yuri is about to come over too. I think Sayori's right. I shouldn't be worrying too much, and we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. As I approach my house, I see something that makes me feel a moment of panic.
Yuri?
Ah, thank goodness.
You're a little early. I'm sorry I wasn't home yet. Were you waiting for a long time?
No, I just got here. But I started to get really nervous when nobody answered the doorbell.
You always could have texted me. If I had known, I would have reassured you and hurried more on my way home.
Oh, I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that for some reason.
It should be common sense to do that, but I decided to ignore it.
Anyway, let's go inside. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you.
That's right.
And did you manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well?
Yeah, pretty much. At least I hope I got everything right. I'm sure
I take Yuri to my room. That is a nice room. The first thing she does is glance around curiously, which makes me feel anxious.
It's so clean.
I cleaned it before you came over, so...
That's very considerate of you to do.
No. I would be really embarrassed for my room to be a mess while you were here.
Well, I do enjoy cleaning. I would have gladly helped you clean.
That would be even more embarrassing. Wait, don't look in there.
I snatch Yuri's wrist, which was in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine.
Ah, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking for some reason. I was just spacing out.
It's fine, it's fine.
I let go of Yuri's wrist. She puts both her hands firmly in her lap, as if making sure she's keeping track of them.
So, should we get started?
Ah, yes. I have a few things planned out that you can help with. Decorations and other atmospheric enhancements.
Atmospheric enhancements?
You know, mood lighting, aromatherapy candles.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you planned on taking it that far.
Of course. I want to help take our guests to a faraway place. Although many will stop by just out of curiosity. And for cupcakes, I guess. I'm determined to provide an experience that will leave them wanting more.
That's great. It's easy for you to it's easy to forget that you're a pretty intense person.
Ah, intense?
I guess that's the best way to put it.
Is that a bad thing?
No, not at all. It's something I like about you, actually.
Is that so? That makes me feel relieved. And kind of happy.
Yeah, no need to be so anxious. You can relax a little.
Relax. I bought some things for relaxation. I was going to use them during the poetry event.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Let's see.
Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object.
I did some shopping on the way here, so I happen to have these in my bag. I plan to cover the windows in black paper and use the candles to light the room. I think that would be amazing, don't you?
Yeah, that would be really neat. What's that one thing, though?
Oh, this? It's a diffuser for essential oils. How familiar are you with aromatherapy?
Not familiar at all.
Ah, is that so? It's one of my favorite contributors to a positive atmosphere. Depending on the oils or herbs you choose, you can change the mood of the air itself. You can even feel it permeate through your body. Relaxation, positive energy, romance, reflection. It's almost like magic.
Yuri takes a cylinder and pushes a switch on the bottom. In just a moment, a thin ray of vapor begins to spout through a small hole on the top.
Wow, that smells wonderful. What kind of mood is that one for?
This is a jasmine essential oil. It smells like a sweet. It smells a little sweet and flowery, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
I chose jasmine for the event because it provides more than relaxation. Jasmine enhances your emotions and helps you feel them flow through your body. You feel warmer, and your heart pounds more heavily. Don't you think that'll be perfect for sharing our poems?
It does sound suitable. But you seem to know a lot more about this, so I'll trust your opinion with anything.
She again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools. Spools of... What is a spool? Of thin ribbon.
Like the spinny.
I've never heard the word spool.
What are those for?
Well, did you purchase the origami paper I asked you to get?
Paper Mario reference? Yeah, I have it over here.
We won't be using the paper for folding origami. What I'd like to do is write a different word on each paper. We'll need about 100 of them.
Oh yeah? What will those be used for?
Well, I'm going to cut pieces of ribbon to hang from the doorway of the classroom. Then, we can fasten the paper onto the ribbons to create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It would also catch the eye of those passing by the room. It may attract some to peek inside.
That's really creative. I had no idea you'd be so good at this, Yuri.
Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little intense, as you'd put it. Ugh. Yuri giggles with red cheeks. Is it just me, or is she more relaxed when it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels from sharing something that she enjoys. Here's a marker, Chase and Torr. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons.
Alright.
Sitting on the floor together, the two of us get to work. I carefully draw a different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon to her desired length. Then she reaches into her bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife.
Huh?
The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue.
That's no ordinary pocket knife. It looks really fancy.
Well,
Embarrassed, Yuri looks away.
What is it?
you're going to think it's weird.
Yuri, whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. To each their own, you know?
If you promise you won't be weirded out.
Yeah, I promise.
Alright. The thing is, I'm kinda into knives. They're just so pretty. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. The combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe? What am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. You're laughing at me.
No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you got about sharing. It's an interesting thing to be into, I guess. But I think it kind of suits you.
Suits me.
Yeah, it's kind of intense. Besides, it's a really cool looking knife. I can't deny that.
It is, isn't it?
Yuri relaxes her expression once again.
Would you like to hold it?
Sure, I'll check it out.
Yuri carefully hands me the knife, with the handle facing me. I'll take it. I take it and turn it around in my hands. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where do you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I feel the point of the knife with my index finger.
Ow!
Chase and Torr. Why did you do that?
I didn't expect it to be that sharp. I barely touched it at all.
It's my fault.
I should have warned you. This knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like it's paper.
Oh no.
A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a closer look. She stares at it and noticeably fidgets.
If you're squeamish, I'll go wash it off now.
Without warning, Yuri puts my finger in her mouth and licks the wound. I feel her tongue curl around my finger. Startled, I instinctively pulled my hand back.
Oh, please forgive me.
I wasn't thinking. Yuri lowers her head, her face burning up.
Yuri.
She now. That's
the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. How could I do something like that? I'm sorry.
Sure, it was a little weird and took me by surprise. But I guess she was just trying to help, right?
Yuri, I think you're overreacting a little.
She doesn't lift her head. What if she doesn't recover from this for the rest of the afternoon?
Alright, you know what?
This might be a stupid thing to do, but I do it anyway. I take Yuri's hand and lick her index finger in return.
Jason Torr.
Did you really just do that? You
No.
creep.
Now we're even.
Yuri just looks at me like I did something wrong.
I knew that would be a bad idea.
If not for the sweet aroma of the jasmine oil, the air would be extremely heavy right now.
You're so weird, Jason Torr.
Yuri giggles shyly.
Yeah?
Yuri calling me weird? I have no response to that.
Where do you keep your bandages?
I don't think I need one, actually. It was a tiny cut. Look, it's already stopped bleeding.
I see.
That's relieving. The tension is quickly lifted. We each resume our respective activities. I watch Yuri's knife cut through the ribbon like it's nothing but air. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the paper. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all out by papyrus, side by side. It looks better than I expected, and will be very effective as a door curtain.
It looks great. Good thinking coming up with this, Yuri.
Ah, thanks. It's just something I saw online, really. Are you ready to move on to the next task?
Yeah, let's do it. What do you have in mind?
I'd like to create
I'd like to create a banner.
That's why I asked you to buy the paint tablets.
Ah, that's right.
One of the items Yuri had asked me to buy was a kit of watercolor paint tablets. We'll need about 6 cups of water to put each of the tablets in. Do you mind fetching those for us?
Of course not. 6 cups of water? I'll be right back in a minute.
Thank you very much. Oh, and just a little bit of water, okay? Is okay. If you fill the cups too much, it'll be too diluted. Taking Yuri's advice, I decided to use small plastic bathroom cups rather than full-size glasses. I put them on a plate to catch any paint that drips, then bring it back into my room.
Yuri?
Yes.
I come in to see Yuri quickly unrolling her sleeve, pulling it back over her arm.
Nothing. Your face is a little red. Is it too hot in here or anything?
Hers is yellow.
No, not at all.
There's nothing wrong, so let's mix the paint. Yuri hurriedly dismisses me and takes it upon herself to unwrap the tablets, dropping them into the cups.
So,
I thought we would do something simple that would look very nice. I like to paint a gradient across the banner, starting with the colors for sunrise and daytime and sunset and nighttime. Once it dries, I'll write an inspirational quote across the banner. We can hang it on the wall behind the podium at the front of the classroom.
Ah, neat. What are you going to write?
Well, it will be more fun to surprise you. He smiles at me.
If you say so.
After rolling out the banner, Yuri and I kneel on opposite sides so we don't get in the way of each other. Yuri uses a brush and adds a few dots of different colors across the banner to serve as a color guide when we paint.
This kind of reminds me of elementary school.
Painting on a banner with watercolors was a lot like the art class projects we had back then. It's relaxing. I'm sorry if this feels too childish.
No, I didn't mean that at all. It's kind of fun, you know?
yeah. It is fun.
I'm glad you feel that way too. Yuri stops painting for a moment, thinking to herself. For me, I don't need to go out and do crazy things to have fun. In fact, I usually don't even want to. It's just like when I can spend time with one other person. Even if it's something simple like reading. It doesn't even matter if we don't talk much. Just having a friend next to me to make things feel a little bit nicer. I think that's all it takes for me to be happy.
Is that so?
Even if Yuri and I are quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel that way about things like anime and games, or simply sharing the experience with someone can make me happy.
I think I feel the same way.
Yuri smiles gently.
I knew you'd understand.
Yuri leans over the banner to grab an unused paintbrush, but I move at the same time, causing my head to bump into hers.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yuri reels back, and I quickly lift my hands in surprise.
Are you hurt?
No, I'm not hurt.
It just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I shouldn't have asked you to get it for me.
It's not your fault. Your face.
There are droplets of paint on Yuri's face and neck. Is there something on my face?
Yeah, I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's only my fault. I'll get a towel right away.
I rush out and fetch a small towel, then I dampen it with hot water. I return to my room and kneel back down in front of her.
Here.
I pat down Yuri's face and neck with a towel. Oh,
Is something wrong?
it's hot. I just didn't expect it.
Sorry. I didn't want to use cold water.
Having finished, I start to retract my hand, but Yuri suddenly holds my wrist. Wait, just for a little longer. It feels really nice.
Ah.
Keep my hand still against Yuri's neck. She looks in my eyes. It's an intense expression that I recognize from when she reads her books. Almost as if she's lost in her daze, enveloped by her own thoughts. She breathes gently, half through slightly parted lips. Light. What is happening? Indeed.
What is happening?
Is it the aroma of the jasmine oil giving me this dizzy feeling? Yuri's gentle fingers, wrapped around my wrist, send a tingling sensation through my arm. And suddenly her face seems to be much closer to mine than it was just a moment ago. Ah. Yuri slowly pulls away. Sorry. I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space.
It's fine.
The moment is over as soon as it began. Yuri picks up her brush again, but her movements seem clumsier, like she's unable to focus. I remain silent, forced to ignore the events that just transpired. I hesitantly retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example.
That should do it.
I finish filling the night sky with white dots that look like stars. Looking at the banner as a whole, it's very pretty and natural looking.
I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results.
Yeah, me too. Are you going to add the lettering now?
Not yet.
It needs to dry first.
That's true, but won't that take a while?
Will.
Perhaps it would be best to leave it here, then have you bring it in the morning. I can do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts.
Is that okay?
That's totally fine.
Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Whew. Oh, aha!
You say that like you're glad it's over. Was I wrong to assume that you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit?
No, it's not that. I'm just glad we managed to get everything done.
I see. I am too. Always a little concerned about time. I need to start making dinner soon.
Ah, so you don't have any time left?
I was secretly hoping we would have extra time after finishing the work. Well, Yuri thinks to herself. I think it'd be too irresponsible for me to wait much longer.
I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be more time as well.
It's probably my fault. Sorry for being such a slow worker.
No, it's not your fault at all.
And the important thing is that we got everything done, right?
Yeah.
So,
I shouldn't be disappointed or anything. Gathering all other things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. It sounded like she really gets the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. But that doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Once Yuri packs up, I walk her out the front door.
thank you very much for having me today.
No problem. I'm glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow.
I will.
Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Wait,
I kind of say that without thinking.
about today. It's fine that we didn't have much time as we wanted, because we can do this again. Whenever you want, you can come over, or we can go out somewhere. I forgot you don't like going out that much.
As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully.
Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so...
You're very thoughtful, Jason Torr. Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand. I kind of like that about you.
Well...
How am I supposed to respond to that? But I don't even get a chance to, as Yuri suddenly pulls back.
So Sayori?
Yeah?
Ah! Hi, Jason Torr.
Sayori.
Sayori.
Wait,
Just now, we weren't...
It's okay, Jason Torr. I just stopped by to say hi.
Well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, but I'm already on my way to leave.
Really? That's too bad.
I'm sorry. But we'll all be together at the festival tomorrow, so that's fine, right?
Of course.
Sayori beams. Yeah, so see you tomorrow. Clearly embarrassed.
Yuri hurries off. Yuri waves goodbye after.
Okay, we did it. This is what we saw last time.
Alright.
Okay, people. Are you ready for Natsuki's story?
Not ski. More like jet ski.
That was this Thanks.
Yuri's like the best character, so now I'm sad.
Thanks. I don't know why I'm waving.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Goodbye.